Oh my god, I don't know who made this list, but there are so many comic book movies, and I've already looked through it a little. Look at this. Captain America 1990 is on this, but no Batman 66? How disrespectful is that? Anyway. No offense to whoever made this list. I appreciate it, so I didn't have to. Let's get into this. Ant-Man and the Wasp C tier. It's a very uneventful movie, but, nothing is atrociously bad about it. And I love the first Ant-Man heist movie. Heist movies are just my thing, so incorporating that into a comic book movie. Still not the biggest fan of Ant-Man, though. Paul Rudd's great. Michael Douglas, of course, is great. I'm not a fan of Aquaman. This is going to be... I'm going to put it in the C tier. I'm not going to put it in the D tier. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a beautiful movie. I'm not the biggest fan of Black Manta. But, hopefully Aquaman 2 is better. Age of Ultron. I do not think that... I think this is the worst Avengers movie, but I don't think it's that bad. It's still enjoyable enough. And this is going to be controversial. Also B tier. Look, Endgame. If it wasn't for the third act of that movie would not be that great. Up until the third act, it's fine. It's a movie. But the third act is what everyone came to the theater for. All the callbacks are cool, of course. They got funny moments. It's just, I don't know, especially the second act with the time travel stuff, I think can be a little bit of a mess. But anyway, I also prefer Infinity War, so that's also why I didn't love Endgame as much. It's, Infinity War is a tall order to match up to, but whatever. First, Avengers. I feel like I have to put this S tier just because of how revolutionary it was. Loki was a great first villain for the Avengers, the group coming together. Iron Man versus Thor, all of that is very memorable. And without it, comic books probably wouldn't be what they are today. Batman and Robin, come on, S tier. Batman Begins, also S tier. Okay. Batman and Robin, if I'm being serious. I'm not even going to put an F. I do not hate this movie. It is enjoyable enough to watch, okay? I understand that it killed Batman for 8 years, but without that movie, we wouldn't have Batman Begins. It's not even my least favorite Batman movie. Spoilers, I'll go ahead and tell you. Batman Forever is my least favorite Batman movie. I'm not a fan of Batman Forever. Fucking pop-ups. I'm not a fan of Batman Forever. I just think that movie's bad versus Batman and Robin was... I understand that both the movies were aimed towards kids. That's what Joel Schumacher was hired to do. But I just enjoy Batman and Robin more. I can just watch that and have a fun time with it more than Batman Forever. When I watch Batman Forever, I just can't... It's so bad. I just don't... I'm not a fan, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the Batman Forever lovers out there. Batman Begins, I didn't even touch on this, but I think it's the best superhero origin story ever told. Honestly, it's probably the best Batman movie in terms of Batman as a character, in my opinion. Live action, that is. But I'll just go ahead and do The Dark Knight since I'm talking about Batman Begins right now, because The Dark Knight is... I'll go ahead and order these two. Batman Begins is a great first film. The Dark Knight is the perfect sequel. But as I was saying, I think Batman Begins is the better Batman movie, but Heath Ledger as the Joker, and even Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face, the villains in The Dark Knight are so much better than Batman Begins, I think, even though Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul kicks ass. But yeah, The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. It's just super memorable. Heath Ledger's Joker, probably my favorite performance of all time. As of now, it's my favorite Batman movie. I'm doing this before The Batman, and I'm doing that for a reason. Because this is in celebration of The Batman. Batman Returns. I'm also going to put this in B tier. See, Endgame might move out to A later. I'll have to think on that. I'll just put an A for now, okay? I feel like B was a little too unnecessary with it. Batman Returns. I love Batman Returns. I view it more as a Tim Burton movie than a Batman movie. Like, I think 89 is the better Batman movie. But if you're viewing them as Tim Burton movies, Batman Returns is potentially the best Tim Burton movie. It's just a fun, insane time. Now, The Dark Knight Rises, I'm also putting in B tier. I think it's a major step down from Begins to The Dark Knight, which I wasn't really expecting a movie on that level. That's hard to do with the trilogy. I'm just happy the first two are as good as they are, and I still like The Dark Knight Rises. It's still a magnificent trilogy. It's just a bit too long, and some parts of that movie are super slow. Okay, BBS. I'm putting it C tier. I think I like it more than Ant-Man and the Wasp. Once BBS actually gets up and going, I think it is a pretty good film. It just takes a while to get there, and the first 30 minutes to an hour can be super slow. Ben Affleck as Batman, that's probably the most I've liked Batman in a live-action movie at this point. It's too bad that Justice League brought Ben Affleck's Batman down a little bit for me. Okay, Batman 89. A tier. This is a great film. Don't love it as much as Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, obviously, but Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman, and I am excited for him to come back, hopefully later this year, assuming The Flash doesn't get delayed, because if that gets delayed, Batgirl's probably going to get delayed. Birds of Prey. I think this is a very pretty middle-of-the-road, mediocre movie, and some people probably hate me for that. But Black Mask, very good villain. I was disappointed where they took his character. He was the best character in the movie, and I just didn't care for where they took it. Margot's Robbie is always... Margot's Harley. I just said her fucking name. Margot's Robbie. Margot's Harley is always kind of hit and miss for me. I think she's a better part of the first Suicide Squad. I honestly think this is her worst performance, where it's her own movie. I just think Harley works better as a supporting character in a way. She can still be... I don't know how to explain it. I'm just going to move on, okay? Everyone's going to keep hating me for these hot takes, but Black Panther I'm also putting in C tier. Look, I just think it's a pretty boring movie. If it wasn't for the villains, I don't know if I would be able to get through that movie. It's just way too much politics. The action scenes aren't super entertaining to me. Killmonger and Claw, Michael B. Jordan, and Andy Serkis just steal the show in that movie for me. And Chadwick, he still gives a noble performance, of course. He was a great-ass actor. But I don't know, I was just never that into the movie. Black Widow also putting this in C tier. I probably like Birds of Prey more. Taskmaster. That's what it all comes down to. Taskmaster is a super cool motherfucking villain. Badass. I hated the way that character was handled in this movie. He/she, whatever, comics, movie. Moving on. I can't. It's been a while since... Which Blade is this? 2? Okay, it's been a while since I've seen the Blade movies, but I feel safe enough to put it in B tier. I can't say much about these because I don't remember. I'm also going to put the first Blade in B tier. Is this Trinity? No, this is... Wait. This is Trinity. I have not seen Trinity. I think I got that right. I'm not super familiar with the Blade movies. Okay, I also have not seen this Captain America movie. Looks like we're going to have to scroll down. Is it First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this whole trilogy. I love First Avenger. I think it's a great start to a trilogy. Great Captain America movie, great war movie. And then Winter Soldier and Civil War are both S tier. I mean, come on. Gotta put these in the rightful place real quick. No, I like Infinity War more. The Captain America trilogy, I mean, as you can tell by my rankings, is my favorite comic book movie trilogy of all time, probably. There are still more trilogies to come. There are so many fucking trilogies. But it was a great start. First one's a great war movie. The second one, Bucky's back. The Winter Soldier stuff is great. Some of the best action scenes I've ever seen in any movie, let alone a comic book movie. And Civil War was just very emotional. You got the introduction of so many Marvel characters, big time Marvel characters, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and they balanced that all super well. And that's the thing the trilogy does really fucking well, is balance. It's so good. Okay, Captain Marvel. Trying to talk too fast. is C tier. Do I have to say any more? I will come back to it. I have not seen any of these, though. Okay. Haven't seen Elektra either. I'll go ahead and put it down here. So, Captain Marvel. I don't get the hate for Captain Marvel, to be honest. Like, I obviously don't think it's that great. But also, it's not that bad. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is good in it. I think the worst part of the movie is the villain, which I don't even remember the name of, and I forgot the guy that plays him. But anyway, yeah, the Skrulls, especially the main Skrull guy, I liked him. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson was fine. I think I liked her more in her own movie than I did in Endgame. So, yeah, you know, not a bad movie. Doctor Strange, also C tier. See, this is what I'm noticing about Marvel movies, especially lately. They're kind of just mad, right? Like, they're not offensively bad. They're not amazing. They're well-made movies that are enjoyable. You know, they're nothing special. They're just, at least you're getting a comic book movie. Moving on, Eternals. I do not like Eternals. Look, it's not... I didn't enjoy it. It's pretty boring. The first hour of the movie is just introduction, then the actual movie starts. I think it's way too long. Fantastic Four movies. I have not seen any of these. Not that big on the Fantastic Four. My God, there are 4 Fantastic Four movies? Okay, we're getting into the movies we haven't seen. I haven't seen either of the Ghost Riders. Look, I didn't know I knew there was quite a few comic book movies I hadn't seen. I didn't know it was on this level. Green Lantern is F tier. I don't even need to say anymore. Why'd they CG the suit? Like, just make a suit. Do you know how much cheaper that would be? And it would look better? God, DC, Warner Brothers, you're killing me. This is volume 2. See, I don't hate Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Kurt Russell as Ego is fine. It's definitely a step down from the first Guardians. But, you know, that's a tall order to follow, as I said with Infinity War. I can't even get up to the S tier. Guardians of the Galaxy is an S tier movie. Come on. No one expected it to be as good as it was. It was a perfect story of a bunch of misfits coming together, and it introduced one of the Infinity Stones. One of the Infinity Stones we saw probably the most of, to be honest. Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this in the D tier. Yes, look, I like Batman and Robin more than the Incredible Hulk. Sue me. I have not seen this. I don't really want to talk about these movies I don't like too much because I don't want to throw negativity towards any of this. Okay, this is the first... No, this is the first Iron Man. Let's go ahead and do the first Iron Man. I'm gonna say it's an A tier. Nah, fuck that. S tier. It started the MCU. It's another great origin story. We were really blessed to get Iron Man and The Dark Knight the same year. So, Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, this is where more... Yeah, I'm not a fan of either. I probably like Iron Man 2 more than... Actually, no, I don't. I lied. I love Batman and Robin. I am a Batman stan. So yeah, I'm not a fan of either of those movies. I have not seen either since they initially came out, so I haven't seen Iron Man 2 in like 11 years. Or 12 years? God damn, it's been a while. I need to rewatch Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3, honestly, I need to rewatch that too, but just my memories of them are not fond, so I really don't want to rewatch them. Comment down below, do I need to rewatch the Iron Man movies? I'll rewatch the first one in a heartbeat. Joker. People are probably going to hate me and disagree with me, but it's an S tier. Come on. That movie did not have the right to be as good as it was. Oscar-worthy, highly praised, critically acclaimed. Made $1 billion, first rated R movie in history. Like, I know Batman's popular. I know Joker's popular. But... that's still insane to me. I think it deserved it too. It was a really freaking good movie. I love movies that get psychological stuff. I like the deep dive into the mind. This is the Whedon Justice League. F. Do I need to explain anything? I have not seen Kick-Ass 2. Kick-Ass is... I think I'm going to put it in the B tier. Where should I put it? I'll put it behind Ant-Man. I enjoyed the first Kick-Ass enough, but, you know, it wasn't anything too special. Man of Steel. Just so the Snyder fans get off my back a little. Now, I like Man of Steel. I like it more than BVS. I think Man of Steel is actually a pretty decent movie. I get... A lot of people don't like the darker takes on Superman and stuff, but, I mean, Zack Snyder made the movie he wanted to. Some of it could have been better, but as Zack Snyder's movies always are, it's very beautiful. The action scenes are pretty entertaining. For destroying Metropolis at the end and snapping Zod's neck, I get fans being upset about that, but at the same time, when I look at the movie on its own, it's enjoyable. I like the character dynamics. The action's entertaining. Shang-Chi. I have not been a fan of any of the recent MCU movies. I think it's really... Well, that's a lie. I like No Way Home. I think it's really the humor. I've noticed the humor lately. And Eternals was just boring. But especially Shang-Chi. And kind of No Way Home even. But just, I like other aspects of No Way Home more to forget that. Shazam. I'm putting this in the B tier. Also, I actually prefer Man of Steel over Shazam. Now, Shazam, I loved Shazam when I first saw it, but on rewatch, I don't think it's a super rewatchable movie. I didn't enjoy it as much on rewatch for some reason. Spider-Man. Come on, I just rewatched this recently. Come on, Spider-Man. You gotta get up here to A tier, man. Some of it's probably nostalgia with me. I grew up with this movie. This was, like, the first movie... I think I still have this movie on VHS somewhere, like, at my dad's or something. But, come on. William Dafoe's Green Goblin, seeing more of him in No Way Home made me want to go rewatch this movie, and I did not regret it. It's just... It's still such a good time. It's not as good as... I'm sure it's going to be the next movie. Oh, wait. Where the fuck is Spider-Man 2? Wait, is that Spider-Man 2? Am I stupid? Hold on. Is this Spider-Man 2 or is that one Spider-Man 2? Okay, we just figured this shit out. This one's Spider-Man 2, apparently. I could have swore that was Spider-Man 1. Okay, Spider-Man 2 is S tier. I fucking love Spider-Man 2. The action in that movie still stands up to this day, which just says something. Like, the whole him losing his powers and stuff, that was weird. I'm glad they made a joke about it in No Way Home, because that was always the weirdest part of that movie to me, but I love how the Spidey senses use Doc Ock, how they use his arms. All the action scenes are freaking great. The bank scene, the train scene, the end scene, all of them. Just, I'm about to rewatch Spider-Man 2 after this. Spider-Man 3. I don't even hate Spider-Man 3. I don't get why people hate it. Maybe I used to hate it. I don't know. But Spider-Man 3 is like... It's not that that good, but also... The only actual bad thing in Spider-Man 3, which it's not good that it's a bad thing, is Venom. Because Venom's obviously a big part of that movie. I don't love Harry in it either, but... Even the Emo Peter stuff, like, we got memes from that, who cares? Look, we got Bully Maguire from that, let's go. Oh my god, just because of the cultural impact, I should put it in the B tier. No, that's too controversial, I think. I don't like it enough to put it in B tier. Is this? Which one is this? This is Far From Home. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. I'll just go ahead and do the entire Homecoming, putting in the A tier. Spider-Verse, also A tier. No Way Home, S tier, come on. I love No Way Home, okay? Is that all the Spider-Man movies? Nope. The Amazing Spider-Man movies. Oh boy. I'll put the first one in C tier. And 2 is D tier. I'm not a fan of I'll work backwards. I'm not a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, okay? For some reason, both the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I didn't like the villains in any of them. And also, they were the worst part of No Way Home. Those two villains. Lizard, he did, like, nothing. And they focused on Jamie Foxx's Electro way too much. He's not an interesting enough character to be focusing on that much. Give me more Doc Ock, please. Doc Ock was, like, the character they focused the least on. And I'm like, I get that he already has the best Spider-Man movie. But come on, man. Him and Dafoe are the best. Okay, anyway, I guess that covers 3 of those movies. So, No Way Home. No Way Home. I just talked about No Way Home. Far From Home. God, these names are confusing. Far From Home and Homecoming. I like both of them. It just comes... Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. Great villain. Michael Keaton as Vulture. Great villain. The most memorable scene, and... The only thing... I'm not a fan of Iron Man being in so much of Homecoming. That's the one thing that Far From Home does better, but the first half of Far From Home is also just kind of... It's not the best. And the second half is so good, though. But as a whole, I prefer Homecoming more. I just think it's the more entertaining watch. Oh, and Spider-Verse, I don't love it as much as a lot of my friends do. Like, a lot of my friends are crazy about this movie. And I obviously enjoy it. It's A tier. I think it's a really good movie. The animation is just astounding to me, how they use, like, the comic bubbles and everything. It's like a comic book brought to life, which is super impressive. It looks super impressive. I need to learn English. It looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. The story's good enough. The whole thing about Kingpin trying to steal another wife, I guess I get it, but also that's kind of weird. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Oh, I'm putting this in the B tier. Come on. I don't even care. I love that movie. It's not extremely well made or anything, but oh shit. What did I just do? Oops. Okay, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Venom. Also, I'm looking at this. Nah, Venom's D tier. Venom is not a good movie. It's entertaining only because of Tom Hardy. Venom, Let There Be Carnage is a good movie. Look, the action scenes significantly improved from the first one, I think. There's only one big fight scene between Venom and Carnage, which I was expecting more. This movie ended so fast. I was like, why is this movie not longer? I was thoroughly entertained. Now, Venom, I didn't feel the same way. Riot's a worse villain than Carnage. Venom, Let There Be Carnage is just the better movie. It's more well made. This video is going so long. I might have to... Okay, nah, I'm close enough to the end. The Suicide Squad. Now, this is something people... Oh my god, what's happening? I'm putting the Suicide Squad in S tier. I don't even care. This is the most fun I've had watching a movie since I can remember. I watched this movie like 6 times on HBO Max because it was just there. I was depressed. This put me in a good mood. It's one of those movies. It's also, the storytelling is pretty good. The soundtrack's good. That's something I didn't even mention about the Guardians movies for some reason. Guardians of the Galaxy 1. One of the best movie soundtracks I've ever heard. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, phenomenal music soundtrack. Also, that maybe the music soundtrack alone puts this in C tier because I didn't love anything about the actual movie, but also I didn't hate anything about the movie either. Anyway, yeah, the Suicide Squad. Idris Elba he's basically a replacement for Will Smith, but if you're gonna replace Will Smith, there's no one better. Idris Elba is a phenomenal actor. I've always loved him. I grew up watching wrestling, so John Cena. I love John Cena. I've been watching the Peacemaker show. The most recent episode was the best episode, in my opinion, by the way. This is the most I've liked Margot's Harley. King Shark was great. Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. That was great comedic relief. I see the Guardians of the Galaxy comparisons, and yeah, but also, who cares? It's still a good movie. Oh god. Suicide Squad, the original. Yep. Do I really need to say anything else? I haven't seen Supergirl. Haven't seen any of the original Supermans. I might get crucified for that one. I have seen Superman Returns. Superman Returns. The only thing you really remember from that movie, if you haven't seen it recently, is probably like the first 5 to 10 minutes when he's saving the plane. That is such a good scene because that is Superman. Everything else about the movie is just weird. And I'm not even going to talk about Lex Luthor because everyone knows who plays him. Okay, we're getting to the bunch I haven't seen. There was a lot of movies on this, to be fair, so... Bro, how are the Hellboys not on this? Come on, man. That's just offensive. Okay, let's... Thor C tier. Thor the Dark World D tier. Thor Ragnarok. Okay. Let's go up to A tier. And in-game, you need to get your ass back here. I do not have that many movies in A tier, shockingly enough. I forgot what movies I just did. Oh, the Thor Trilogy. Okay, the first Thor. I think the first Thor, honestly, this is when I actually enjoyed the MCU humor. It wasn't too much. It wasn't overbearing. It was actually pretty funny. When Thor throws the coffee mug on the ground, I was like, another! I'm like, that's fucking great. Chris Hemsworth is... I think he's meant to be Thor because he's so freaking good in that role. Dark World. Yeah, just... Also, Hawkeye. The first Thor is entertaining enough. Destructor's kind of a lame villain. I like the Loki stuff in it, though. Dark World, yeah, there's nothing that great. Malekith is potentially the worst MCU villain. It's pretty boring. But that Captain America cameo was awesome, and I still enjoy the Loki stuff enough to not hate this movie enough to put it in F tier. And Ragnarok. Come on, Cate Blanchett is my girl. She is my favorite actress, so her as Hela, I love that. And Thor kicks Hulk's ass in this. I don't care what anyone says. And I never grew up liking the Hulk that much. I still don't care for him. He's just a giant green monster. And I'm glad Thor kicked his ass. Thor definitely won that fight. And I just like how much power Thor gets into this and where they take his story. It's such a good movie. Watchmen B tier. Actually, that's an A tier, not B tier. What the fuck? I like Watchmen quite a bit. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember really enjoying it, especially Rorschach. He is such an interesting character. The prison scene is a very good scene. It's maybe one of the best scenes I've seen in a comic book movie, just because you can sense the fear that's in that room when Rorschach's like, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me, and it's just like, oh shit. Wonder Woman. I love the first Wonder Woman, okay? And I'm gonna put it in A tier. But Wonder Woman 1984, however, is a different story. Putting that in C tier. Not the biggest fan of Wonder Woman 84. All the Steve Trevor stuff in this movie is kind of weird, and they don't explain anything. I don't even mind that it's weird. I'm just glad we got Chris Pine as Steve Trevor back at least one more time. But how they don't explain anything is... I'm not a fan of that. Cheetah... I like Cheetah more before she even becomes Cheetah. I think Maxwell Lord is great, though, so that's... that... Him and Chris Pine are really... And Gal Gadot. She's still great as Wonder Woman. Or Gadot. I don't remember how you pronounce her name. They're the saving grace of this film. I think Wonder Woman is like the one role Gal Gadot is actually good at. I'm sorry, no offense to her, but... moving on, X-Men Apocalypse. I need to shut my mouth, don't I? D tier. Dark Phoenix, also D tier. Do I really need to touch on those? This video is already gone for... This video feels like a movie. It's already gone for 30 minutes. Do I really need to... I'm not going to bring negativity into here, okay? Days of Future Past. God damn, there's so many... All that's left are X-Men movies. I'll just rank these, and the ones I remember to talk about, I'll talk about. Okay, Days of Future Past is A tier. Deadpool 2, I put at B tier. Deadpool 1 is A tier. Okay, X-Men First Class. I'll talk about these now. Before I get to the other ones, because there's so fucking many. X-Men First Class. I like X-Men First Class, like, quite a bit. Charles and Eric's relationship in this movie, it's so strong and it's so good, and it's heartbreaking when that comes to an end. Mystique kind of as the anchor of the film in a way. I don't know what word I'm really looking for, but she's really the one that brings everything together in a way. And she's also grew up with Charles and turned on him in the end, which is also just makes that all more heartbreaking. Dude lost his best friend, lost the girl he took in, all to the dark side, and he got paralyzed. Like, that's rough. Days of Future Past, I really enjoy. The Sentinel stuff is the reason. I wasn't super into the Sentinel stuff. It was fine. I know it's from the comic. I know it's an adaptation. I think it did a good job. The Quicksilver scene is badass. I just enjoy the character dynamics in First Class more. And I think Sebastian, I don't even remember his name. Kevin Bacon's character, I think he's a better villain than the Sentinels, or Peter Dinklage, whoever the villain in Days of Future Past was. Logan is an S-tier movie. This movie, I've never felt so much emotion in a movie. The rewatchability, I've tried to rewatch this movie. I'm able to rewatch it. Obviously, a lot of the emotion doesn't hit as much, but like it still hits, which is impressive, even when you know what's coming. Still a heartbreaking movie. It's so freaking good. What's next? Okay, one I have not seen. I also haven't seen... Is this The Last Stand? I have not seen The Last Stand. And that is the last one I haven't seen. So there's no more I haven't seen. We don't gotta worry about that anymore. There's only 5 movies left, but... New Mutants. I don't even hate the New Mutants. It's fine. It's very non-memorable. I don't remember much about that movie. I remember the Bear Girl. I remember the podcast me and Andrew recorded more than I remember this actual movie. So I guess the experience with this movie, I'd still remember, so that counts for something, right? That's more than I can say about any of these. Well, Batman and Robin is an S-tier movie, but I know I will get hated on for that. So, I'm just kidding, it's not an S-tier movie, I know, but I do enjoy it more than any of these, honestly. Oh, shit. The Wolverine. So, actually, I really love the first half of this movie. The first act... I enjoy so much. And then the second act is kind of... It feels slower. I'm not as much into it, but it's still not a bad movie. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying what I'm seeing. The train scene was pretty good. But then, when the old man just gets in the samurai armor, and it turns into... And Viper also gets weirder. Some weird stuff happens. I wasn't into it then. I was like, okay, this is what my mind goes to when you're, like, if the first half of a movie was a movie, it would be great, but the second half just brings it down so it's okay. That's what this movie is. So, X-Men, the first X-Men, oh my god, the first X-Men is also C tier. There is nothing special about it to me. Now look, I like all these more than Wonder Woman 84. Thor needs to be higher. But yeah, nothing special about the first X-Men. The visual effects don't really hold up, which I don't like holding that kind of stuff against the movie, but also just some of the lines don't even hold up. Like, what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. Like, nah shit. Nah shit, Storm. X2 is a B. I like X2 enough. Yeah. God, I have so many movies in C tier. It's kind of ridiculous. Apparently, a lot of comic book movies are mediocre. But yeah, X2 I think is a step up from the first X-Men. The Nightcrawler scene alone, one of the best scenes I've seen in a comic book movie. Really freaking badass. Great usage of his powers. And everything after that is fine enough. The whole Civil War thing that's going on, that's kind of a thing in every X-Men, I guess. Anyway, let's end this on a better note. The Snyder Cut. Now, just let's go back to the theatrical Justice League. See how it's F tier? Yep. Snyder Cut. A tier. Okay, yeah, that looks like a... Look, this movie is really long. We get that. We know it's 4 hours. Everyone knows that. It's a long movie. So is Endgame. Endgame is a long movie. Sure, Snyder Cut's an hour longer. I prefer the Snyder Cut. I think I'm more into the characters. I don't think it's as messy of a movie. I think the longer runtime actually benefits it. Everything makes more sense. The pieces fall together. There are still movies I enjoy more, but it's a damn good movie, and I am happy that we got the Snyder Cut. So yeah, that was my tier list of all these comic book movies. That's not every comic book movie I've seen, because like I said, the Hellboy movies weren't on this. Batman 66 wasn't on this. Let's go take a look at the ones I haven't seen. So out of all these, just take a quick look if you want to. If I need to watch any of these, other than the Superman movies, I know I need to watch those, at least the first two. If I need to watch any more of those, comment down below. Which one do I need to watch? And also, comment down below. Do you agree? Do you not agree? You probably don't. But let me know what you agree with and what you don't agree with. Let me know your rankings down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you guys next time.